This is Orientation Lesson 66 or Study Tips 15, Learn and Use the BrainBox Learning System. If you haven't done so already and you haven't learned it, go now. Parents, lessons 90 to 94, and students, I believe it starts at 95 and goes to 101. It is important that you learn that BrainBox learning system. I think sometimes parents and students both feel that it's very tedious, but believe me, it does pay big dividends. We have had much success with this BrainBox learning system, and we encourage the students to use it in the beginning. We do have some other systems that we like and that we encourage them to use as they mature in their study habits, but we are especially anxious that the young people, the 4, 5, 6, 7-year-olds, use the BrainBox learning system. It is quite a rewarding system, and I really would encourage somewhere between 8 and 11 they want to move to another system that we have, but for the time being, do learn and use the Beehive BrainBox learning system. I must tell you that we had a young lady in our school who was in and out, that her circumstances didn't allow her to stay continually, but she was in and out, and she did learn the Beehive BrainBox learning system. Well, she had a very hard time learning. Her grades were not the best. We were very concerned about her, as were her mother and father. Well, she came into the school one day and made an announcement. She said, "I passed my driving test." And I didn't even think, and I said, "How?" Which is a terrible thing to say, which means that I didn't think she could do it. But she says, "Well, I just put everything on the cards, on the BrainBox learning system, and I only missed 2 questions." So it does work even and especially for students who have a difficulty learning, who may have an attention deficit problem or another problem with their learning. Please, using cards and using them in a particular way is one of the things that is done to help children and adults who have had brain injuries. So it's just that good. So if it's that good for someone who's really struggling, it must be pretty good for the rest of us. And by the way, they have found that individually, on the average, each of us needs to go over something 19 times. 19 times before it starts to get into long-term memory or even get stuck in short-term memory. So use the Beehive BrainBox learning system. Again, those are lessons 90 to 94 for parents and adults, and lessons 95 to 101 for students.